Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Kenya Defence Forces Weekly Bulletin, your trusted source for weekly updates on defence activities, from operational highlights to the latest developments at the Ministry of Defence. I am Sergeant Patience Asambu. Here are our top stories for tonight. CS Tuya advances national development projects. Gambian CDS visits Kenya to strengthen bilateral cooperation. Chief of the Defence Forces calls for integrity and transparency as KDF gears up for nationwide recruitment. Commander Kenya Army leads community service initiatives in Eldoret. Commander Kenya Air Force commissions new welfare facilities in Narok. Commander Kenya Navy deepens cooperation with India. Kenya signals company troops in DRC honored with UN medals. To start us off, Honorable Soipan Tuya, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, this week spearheaded key national development projects being undertaken by the Kenya Defence Forces in line with government's commitment to equitable development and quality service delivery. Here are the details of her engagements.
How are you? How are you, my brother?
At the Defence Headquarters, the Cabinet Secretary held high-level consultative meetings with the Cabinet Secretary of Education, Honorable Julius Ogamba, and the Governor of Nakuru County, Honorable Susan Kiheka, to strengthen interagency collaboration engagements with the Ministry of Education focused on establishing the 800-student capacity Nyamira University College, which aims to expand access to quality higher education in the region. Discussions with Nakuru County leadership assessed the progress of the Nakuru Trauma Center, which is set to improve emergency and specialist healthcare services. The meetings also covered major upgrades to Afraha and Olenguruone stadiums, positioning them as regional hubs for talent development and economic growth.
Lieutenant General Mamat Cham, the Chief of Defence Staff of the Gambia Defence Forces, paid a courtesy call on General Charles Kahariri, Kenya's Chief of the Defence Forces, at the Defence Headquarters in Nairobi. The high-level visit aimed to strengthen bilateral relations between the two militaries, focusing on enhancing cooperation in regional security and professional development.
During their meeting, the two military chiefs discussed key areas of mutual interest, including counter-terrorism, joint operations and training. Both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to African Union's Silencing the Guns initiative and agreed to begin negotiations towards a formal defense cooperation agreement. Lieutenant General Cham commended the Kenya Defence Forces for its steadfast role in promoting peace and stability in the region, while General Kariri reiterated Kenya's readiness to share best practices in command, logistics and leadership development. Earlier in the week, the visiting Chief of Defence Staff met with Major General Paul Otieno, the Commander Kenya Navy, to discuss maritime security. His itinerary also included a visit to the Uhuru Gardens National Monument and Museum, as well as several Kenya Defence Forces training institutions, including the National Defence University Kenya, National Defence College, and the Kenya Military Academy.
General Charles Kahariri, the Chief of the Defence Forces, has urged recruitment officers to uphold the highest standards of integrity and professionalism as the Kenya Defence Forces prepares for its nationwide recruitment exercise. Speaking during a briefing at Defence Headquarters, General Kahariri reminded officers that the public's trust in military depends on a fair and merit-based process.
General Kahariri noted that the Kenya Defence Forces has incorporated technology into the process to enhance verification of applicants and eliminate opportunities for malpractice. He issued a stern warning that any officer found engaging in corrupt activities will face immediate and severe disciplinary action emphasizing that corruption undermines national security, compromising the quality of personnel joining the force. Lieutenant General David Keter, Commander Kenya Army, echoed the Chief of Defence Forces sentiments, stressing the critical role officers play as the first link between the military and the public. Major General Edward Rugendo, the Assistant Chief of Defence Forces in charge of personnel and logistics, highlighted that digital data management systems will be used to record progress in real time, guaranteeing fairness across all recruitment stations. The upcoming recruitment exercise is scheduled to take place across all counties from the 13th to the 25th of October 2025.
The 7th Annual African Conference on Countering Improvised Explosive Devices concluded this week in Nairobi, hosted by the Humanitarian Peace Support School. The conference was officially opened by Lieutenant General John Omenda, the Vice Chief of the Defense Forces. The three-day forum brought together security experts from across the continent to share knowledge and develop a unified approach to this persistent threat. Here's a look at the key discussions.
Lieutenant General Omenda emphasized the conference's significance for enhancing the safety of both uniformed personnel and civilians.
The fight against IEDs requires continental solidarity, interagency cooperation, and international collaboration. They indiscriminately target peacekeepers, security forces, humanitarian workers, civilians, and thus eroding trust within communities and undermining peace support operations.
The director of the International Peace Support Training Center, Major General Charles Mwazige, and the United Kingdom High Commission Defense Advisor to Kenya, Brigadier Oliver Bryant, were also in attendance. The conference provided a unique opportunity for member states to explore realistic training methodologies and take back valuable insights to their respective countries.
Lieutenant General David Keter, the Commander Kenya Army, led a series of community outreach initiatives in Eldoret this week. This is part of the build-up for the upcoming Kenya Defense Forces Day celebrations on 14th of October 2025. He was accompanied by Major General Jeff Nyaga, the General Officer commanding Western Command. These activities underscore the Kenya Defense Forces commitment to uplifting the communities it serves.
Outreach included a two-day medical camp at Soy Health Center, where the Kenya Defense Forces donated medication and other essential supplies. Over 1,000 residents received treatment for various ailments on the first day. At Ainopngetik Primary School, the commander commissioned a new borehole that will provide clean water to the school and the surrounding community. Further support was extended to Lewa Children's Home through the donation of mattresses, blankets, and bed sheets.
Major General Bernard Waliaula, the Commander Kenya Air Force, visited the Narok Forward Operating Base this week to commission new welfare facilities and engage with deployed troops. The visit focused on enhancing the operational readiness and living standards of service members at the base. Take a look.
That pump normally pushes water.
Major General Waliaula commissioned a water purification plant that will provide clean and safe drinking water. He also launched a new Defense Forces Welfare Services outlet, which will serve both military personnel and the local community. The commander urged the service members to strengthen their relationship with the community to promote information sharing and enhance the military's public image.
Wherever you serve, wherever you may be, Itogyo, whichever place, let the people of Kenya see your courage, respect, integrity, and professionalism.
We cross to matters international defense relations, where Major General Paul Otieno, the Commander Kenya Navy, concluded an official visit to India, marking a significant step in enhancing defense cooperation between the two maritime nations. He was formally received by Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, the Indian Navy Chief of Naval Staff in New Delhi. This visit focused on strengthening maritime security and cooperation in the Indian Ocean.
The two Navy chiefs held bilateral talks on regional security and training cooperation, reinforcing a joint maritime vision established in December 2023. Major General Otieno also met with India's Defense Secretary and Chief of the Army Staff, reiterating Kenya's commitment to collective maritime security. During the visit, he attended the induction of Major Brian Twala as Kenya's first international liaison officer at the Information Fusion Center for the Indian Ocean region and toured several key Indian Navy training establishments.
We take a short break. We'll be back in a moment.
Do you have the courage to serve, the discipline to protect, the honor to defend? Your calling is here. The Kenya Defence Forces is recruiting from 13th to 25th October 2025. KDF will recruit specialist and general service duty cadets, servicemen and women, constables, tradesmen and women. Visit mod.go.ke, the official Ministry of Defence website, for more information and updates, or follow our official social media platforms. X @KDF Info, Facebook, Kenya Defence Forces, Instagram @KDF.info, TikTok, KDF Official, YouTube, Kenya Defence Forces. KDF recruitment is free and open to all eligible and qualified candidates. Attempting to bribe or any other form of corruption with intent to influence the recruitment process is a criminal offence. Report such cases at the nearest police station, military camp, or call/message 0726419706/0726419709.
Welcome back. A delegation from the Kenya Defence Forces Directorate of Oversight, Compliance and Accountability, led by Brigadier Lawrence Ntoyai, the Chief of Inspectorate at Defence Headquarters, completed an operational readiness assessment of troops deployed under the African Union mission in Somalia. This vital assessment ensures adherence to both national and international standards.
The assessment is part of the Directorate's mandate to ensure military operations remain aligned with Kenya Defence Forces' legal, policy and ethical frameworks. The delegation visited all the Kenya Defence Forces bases under the mission, concluding in Kismayo, where they were briefed on personnel readiness, infrastructure and troop welfare. Brigadier Ntoyai emphasized that the periodic assessments are crucial for safeguarding professional standards and enhancing operational readiness.
On matters peace support, the 3rd Kenya Signals Company troops serving under the United Nations Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo have been awarded United Nations Service Medals in recognition of their exemplary service during their one-year tour of duty. Their professionalism and dedication were recognized in a colorful ceremony in Goma. Take a look.
The medal parade in Goma was presided over by Madam Vivian Van de Pere, the Deputy Special Representative of the Secretary General. She lauded the Kenyan troops for their dedication, noting that their work forms the backbone of the mission's command, control and coordination. Major Stephen Otieno, the officer commanding, highlighted key achievements including installing of critical communications infrastructure and supporting various mission operations geared towards the protection of civilians.
The Military Wives Association of Kenya, led by Mrs. Grace Kahariri, the chairperson, commemorated World Cerebral Palsy Day at Kahawa Garrison in an event graced by Honorable Soipan Tuya, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense. The event aimed to raise awareness and foster support for families within the military community.
Under this year's theme, Unique and United, the event brought together military families, caregivers, and healthcare specialists to raise awareness and promote inclusion. The Cabinet Secretary affirmed the Ministry of Defence's commitment to expanding care and educational facilities for all dependents.
We continue to expand medical care, rehabilitation services, and inclusive programs so that our personnel and their dependents with disabilities can thrive with dignity and opportunity. As we commemorate this day, let us remember that every individual with CP has a unique story, a unique struggle, and a unique triumph. Let us strive to create a society that values and supports all its members, regardless of their abilities. Together we can make a difference because we are unique and united. Hi, say hello, how are you?
Kenya Defence Forces personnel are participating in the first East African Standby Force Maritime Command post-exercise dubbed Bahari Salama 1, which is currently taking place in Dorale, Djibouti. The 10-day exercise is designed to enhance the readiness and interoperability of the regional force for complex maritime security threats.
While officially launching the exercise, the Eastern Africa Standby Force Director, Brigadier Retired Paul Njema, emphasized the importance of strengthening regional preparedness and cooperation to effectively address threats such as piracy, terrorism, and illegal trafficking. Brigadier Mohamed Shemote, the head of the Kenyan Delegation and Exercise Director, noted that the exercise marks a significant milestone in the region's collective effort to enhance maritime security and improve the operational readiness of the Eastern African Standby Force in the maritime domain.
Moving on, Kenya Defence Forces troops deployed in Samburu County partnered with environmental agencies and community foundations to undertake a tree planting and outreach exercise. The initiative underscores Kenya Defence Forces' commitment to environmental conservation and community welfare alongside security operations.
Soldiers from the 60 Army Special Forces Battalion, currently deployed under Operation Maliza Uhalifu, joined the Dedan Kimathi Foundation and the Kenya Forest Service in the exercise. The activity was part of preparations for the upcoming Mazingira Day celebrations. The initiative aimed to promote environmental conservation, restore degraded ecosystems, and instill sustainable practices within the community. The troops also donated tree seedlings and sanitary pads to the Samburu Girls Foundation. This activity reaffirmed the Kenya Defence Forces' dual role of ensuring security while contributing to community development and national environmental goals.
Thank you for watching. We look forward to your feedback via our official social media platforms and your continued viewership next week on the Kenya Defence Forces Weekly Bulletin. I am Sergeant Patience Asambu. Goodbye.